Ever feel like you're a fraud, just waiting to be found out? Like any success you've had is just pure luck? If that sounds familiar, you might be dealing with something called imposter syndrome. And trust me, you are not alone. It's this persistent, internal feeling that you're not as competent as others perceive you to be, despite all the evidence to the contrary. You might feel like you've tricked everyone into thinking you're smart and capable, and you live in constant fear of being exposed. This feeling can lead to anxiety, stress, and a whole lot of self-doubt. But here's the good news: you can overcome it. It's not a life sentence. And today, we're going to walk through a detailed, step-by-step guide to help you conquer that inner critic and start owning your success. So, let's dive into our first powerful strategy: acknowledging your achievements. This sounds simple, but it's incredibly effective. I want you to start a success log or a brag book. This can be a physical notebook, a document on your computer, or even a note on your phone. Every time you accomplish something, no matter how small, write it down. Did you finish a tough project at work? Write it down. Did you get positive feedback from a colleague? Write it down. Did you finally figure out that tricky recipe? You guessed it, write it down. The key is to be consistent. Make it a daily or weekly habit. Then, and this is the important part, you need to review it. Whenever you feel that doubt creeping in, open your success log and read it. Seeing your accomplishments listed out in black and white provides concrete evidence against the feeling that you're a fraud. It's your personal highlight reel, reminding you of your capabilities and the value you bring. It's not about being arrogant, it's about being accurate. This log becomes your proof, your defense against the irrational feelings of inadequacy. Next up, let's tackle that negative voice in your head. We need to challenge your negative self-talk. This is where a technique from cognitive behavioral therapy called cognitive reframing comes in handy. It sounds complicated, but it's really just about changing the way you look at things. When you catch yourself thinking, "I just got lucky on that presentation," stop, challenge that thought. Ask yourself, is that really true? Or did I spend hours preparing, researching, and practicing? Reframe the thought to something more accurate and positive, like, "I worked hard on that presentation, and my effort paid off." This isn't about lying to yourself. It's about replacing a negative distortion with a balanced, rational thought. Paired with this is the practice of self-compassion. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to a friend who's struggling. Would you tell your best friend they're a fraud? Of course not. You'd be supportive and encouraging. So, give yourself that same grace. Acknowledge the effort you put in. Forgive yourself for not being perfect, and treat yourself with kindness. It's a practice, which means it gets easier the more you do it. Challenging those ingrained negative thought patterns takes time, but it's a crucial step in silencing your inner imposter. Alright, let's talk about a major trigger for imposter syndrome in our modern world: the comparison trap. It's so easy to scroll through social media and see everyone else's curated highlight reels. We see the promotions, the awards, the perfect vacations, and we start to think, why isn't that me? I'm so far behind. This is a one-way ticket to feeling inadequate. Remember, social media is not reality. It's a filtered, edited version of someone's life. You are comparing your behind the scenes, your everyday struggles, to their polished final cut. That's an unfair comparison that you will always lose. So, what's the solution? Limit your exposure if you need to, but more importantly, shift your focus. Instead of looking sideways at what others are doing, look at your own journey. Focus on your personal progress. Are you better today than you were yesterday? Have you learned something new? Have you moved one step closer to your own goals? That's what truly matters. Your path is unique. Celebrate your own milestones, no matter how small they seem compared to someone else's. Your growth is your own, and that's the only race you need to be running. Now for a strategy that might feel scary but is incredibly powerful: the power of sharing. Imposter syndrome thrives in isolation. It wants you to believe you're the only one who feels this way, so it keeps you silent and alone with your thoughts. The best way to fight this is to bring it into the light. Find someone you trust and talk about it. This could be a mentor, a senior person in your field who you respect. You might be surprised to find out they've felt the exact same way. Hearing that from someone you look up to can be incredibly validating. It normalizes the experience and shows you there's a path forward. You can also talk to your peers. Create a small, trusted circle where you can be open and vulnerable. Sharing these feelings with people who are on a similar journey can build incredible bonds and create a powerful support system. You'll realize you're all in this together. And finally, don't be afraid to seek professional help. A therapist or a coach can provide you with targeted tools and strategies to work through these feelings in a structured, supportive environment. Talking about it takes away its power. It exposes the lie that you're alone in this struggle and replaces it with connection and support. Our final strategy is about embracing imperfection. So many of us who struggle with imposter syndrome are also perfectionists. We believe that if we just do everything perfectly, we can finally prove our worth and silence the doubts. But perfectionism is a trap. It sets an impossible standard that you can never meet, which only feeds the feeling of being a fraud when you inevitably fall short. The truth is, mistakes are not a sign of failure. They are a sign of growth. They show that you're pushing your boundaries and trying new things. Instead of beating yourself up over a mistake, try to reframe it. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience make me better? See every stumble as a stepping stone, a valuable piece of data for your next attempt. Embrace the idea of good enough. Not every task requires your 110% all-out effort. Learning to prioritize and letting go of the need for everything to be flawless will free up so much mental energy. It allows you to be human, to be a work in progress, and that is a much healthier and more sustainable way to live and work. So there you have it. 5 actionable strategies to start fighting back against imposter syndrome. Remember to acknowledge your achievements with a success log. Challenge your negative self-talk. Avoid the comparison trap. Share your feelings with others, and embrace imperfection as part of the learning process. Overcoming imposter syndrome isn't an overnight fix. It's a journey. It's a long-term process of self-acceptance, of unlearning negative patterns, and of slowly but surely internalizing your own value. There will be good days and bad days. There will be times when that voice of doubt pipes up again. But now, you have the tools to talk back. You have the strategies to remind yourself of your competence, your effort, and your inherent worth, which is not tied to your productivity or your perfection. You are not a fraud. You belong in the room. You've earned your place. Keep practicing, keep growing, and be kind to yourself along the way. Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content just like this. See you in the next one.